How do you recognize bad people? How will we understand which individuals to remove from our lives? Every day we deal with individuals of all kinds, and we often find ourselves feeling bad because some of them are toxic people who pollute us with their negativity. The Zen story you are about to listen to will reveal the 9 signs through which you can identify the people who can undermine your personal growth. So make yourself comfortable and stay until the end, so you will have the information you need to defend your emotional balance and your inner peace. But before continuing, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and share the video. This way you will help us produce new content every day for your spiritual growth. In a quiet Buddhist monastery located in a remote region of Japan lived the elderly and wise monk Hogai. A young woman named Chiara, eager to find answers to the anxieties that pervaded her due to some toxic relationships, approached the master with respect. Hogai, it is said that you know the secret to recognizing bad people and protecting inner peace. Please teach me, the young woman asked, with a palpable desire to learn as much as possible from the monk's wisdom. Hogai, with his typical calm, replied, "Of course, my dear. If you have the patience to listen to me, I will tell you about the signs you need to pay attention to understand who is in front of you. First, however, let me make an important premise. The people who, for simplicity's sake, we define as bad do not necessarily have to be monsters. They are bad or toxic in the sense that, with their behaviors and the energies they emanate, they can undermine our serenity and mental well-being. However, before distancing them from us, we must try to understand the reasons that led them to be as they are. It was often the pain and trials they had to face that made them dry, annoying, and even harmful. So, dear Chiara, before pushing someone away from you, ask yourself, why does he/she behave like this? Is he really a bad person, or is there something that makes him that way? And can I do something to prevent it from continuing to pollute my emotions? Only after you have given yourself an answer, decide whether, to preserve your mental health, push those people away. Chiara reflected on Hogai's words and was moved because she understood the enormous empathy behind them. If a person who revolves around us can harm us, we must push him away only after making sure that we cannot do anything. Now that we've cleared that up, Master continued, let's start by looking at the first sign you need to watch out for: constant manipulation. Imagine a person who, with devious skill, distorts reality to get what he wants. It could be a colleague who uses deception to advance their career. For example, when faced with a possible promotion, he begins to manipulate you by telling you that some superiors speak badly of you and suggests that you accept a job offer from another company. You may think he's doing it for your own good, but his intent is actually to get you promoted. The young woman listened attentively, fascinated by the monk's wisdom, and thought about a very similar experience she had had a year earlier. The second sign is a lack of genuine empathy. Hogai continued, think of someone who shows indifference to your feelings or experiences, who only seems interested when it benefits them. This behavior can profoundly undermine the quality of personal relationships because you instinctively feel that that person doesn't really care about your fate. He only shows empathy when he has to ask for something in return. Continuing, Hogai described the third sign, the constant creation of conflict. Imagine a person who, despite any harmonious situation, always seeks conflict, fueling arguments and discord. This attitude not only generates stress in relationships, but can also contaminate the surrounding environment, making it toxic. The fourth sign is the constant need for control. Imagine a friend or partner trying to influence your every decision, trying to direct your life according to their wishes. Every time you reveal your plan or desire, that person starts taking initiatives to try to distance you from what you want in favor of their goals. This need for control can create a toxic dynamic, undermining your autonomy and authenticity. The young woman reflected on these words, while Hogai moved on to the fifth sign, the constant lack of respect for personal limits. Think about someone who systematically ignores your privacy, invading your personal space, or not respecting your requests for solitude. This behavior can generate feelings of vulnerability and insecurity because they undermine your personal freedom. Remember, each of us has the right to some space for ourselves. Hogai arrived at the sixth sign, the frequent use of lies or half-truths. Imagine a person, said the master, building an intricate labyrinth of lies, obscuring the truth to get what he wants. The woman immediately remembered what was happening with her friend Luca, who, in order to appear more interesting, constantly exaggerated his experiences. He told exaggerated or distorted stories to arouse admiration, creating a distorted perception of himself in the eyes of others. This constant tendency to use lies, added Hogai, represents the sixth sign of ill-intentioned people, or in any case false people ready to harm you in some way. The seventh sign, Hogai explained, is the pattern of vindictive behavior. Think of someone who, at the slightest sign of criticism or rejection, actively tries to get even or punish you. Kiara immediately thought of Marta, her work colleague who, faced with her warning, had reacted by spreading false and negative news about her, with the intention of putting her in a bad light in front of the other employees. This attitude, concluded the monk, can generate a cycle of negativity and destroy the foundations of human relationships. And here we are at the eighth sign to watch out for, the constant search for attention. Imagine a friend who incessantly seeks approval through excessive attitudes or by dramatizing every situation. Kiara immediately thought of a friend from the group she went out with. Every time they were together, she dramatized her affairs by drawing everyone's attention to herself. The ninth sign to watch out for, Hogai said, is a lack of accountability. Think about those who consistently avoid taking responsibility for their actions, always blaming others. And here Chiara thought of her brother and at least three other people she knew. The brother who, since he was a boy, made trouble and then blamed it on his younger sister. Hogai took a moment to allow the words to settle, making Chiara fully understand what she had heard. Then, in a calm voice, he concluded, recognizing these 9 signals requires very acute perception because we often don't want to see that even people we love, in reality, more or less voluntarily, are hurting us. But if we want to preserve our inner peace, it is essential to put ourselves in a position to see these signs. So, Chiara, practice awareness and be vigilant in your relationships. The young woman thanked the master for his precious teachings and expressed all her gratitude, but Hogai felt that there was still something to say. In addition to recognizing the signs, always remember to trust your intuition. If something doesn't seem right, take time to reflect. Don't be afraid to end toxic relationships if it helps preserve your serenity and peace inner. In conclusion, what does this story teach us? That, in the complex dance of human relationships, wisdom lies in awareness. Be aware of the signs, listen to your inner voice, and wisely choose the people who will accompany your spiritual journey. Remember that your inner peace is precious, and you deserve relationships that nurture and preserve it. And before you say goodbye and meet us for the next video, remember to leave a comment with your experience and opinions.